Will Buzz Lightyear be a villain in Toy Story 5? Previously, we were analyzing the presentation of Toy Story 5 at D23. Thanks to this presentation, we got several important details about the next installment of this franchise. Some of these details being the main plot of this movie, in which the toys will be fighting against what may be the most difficult obstacle they have ever faced. Technology. We were able to see in an artwork that Bonnie's preferences have changed drastically, being consumed immensely by technology and becoming what is known as iPad baby, a topic that is widely discussed and criticized today. Another detail that was revealed is that as main antagonists, we will have an army of 50 commemorative Buzz Lightyears that stayed in toy mode, which represent a great threat to everyone. We mentioned this last one is possibly the most important of all, as it is the one that will open the doors to several possibilities in this movie, such as the fact that we could see the return of Andy in this 5th installment, or that the Buzz Lightyear we know and have seen develop throughout this franchise is a villain. Why is there a possibility that Buzz Lightyear will be a villain in Toy Story 5? Will this be caused by the return of a villain? In this video, we will be discussing all these details. And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. Welcome to the Oasis Geek. In order to clarify why there is a possibility that our Buzz Lightyear ends up being part of the main villains, we must understand several things about this character, and perhaps in the eyes of many, this theory comes only from the fact that the main villains will be an army of Buzz Lightyear, and therefore this could be the fate that awaits our Space Ranger, regardless of whether they are a different addition to the classic Buzz Lightyear. But believe it or not, this goes much further than you think. What if I told you that this was the fate that awaited Buzz all along? Not only this, but there is evidence in the movies that affirms this theory and will be the basis that will reinforce it. Of course, to understand all of this, we must first remember everything we know about Buzz in the Toy Story movies. Let's start by saying that Buzz Lightyear's trajectory throughout the Toy Story franchise has always hinted at a darker potential that could finally be revealed in this 5th movie, in which the toys battle technology. From the moment Buzz first arrived in Andy's room, he was marked by his unshakable belief that he was a true Space Ranger, destined to defeat the evil Emperor Zurg. This illusion, combined with his advanced technology and combat capabilities, set the stage for a conflict between his program purpose and the reality of being just a toy. His initial superiority complex, seeing himself as more than the other toys, could easily have led him to see them as obstacles rather than allies. In Toy Story 2, Buzz's encounter with other Buzz Lightyear action figures, each equally deluded about their true nature, demonstrates how easily he could have remained anchored in his original mindset. The presence of a whole army of Buzz Lightyears, all believing themselves to be the real Space Ranger, showed us the possibility of a Buzz-led regime in which he could have tried to impose his will on the toy world, believing it was his duty as Space Ranger. Toy Story 3 further foreshadowed Buzz's ability to be a villain when he was reset to his factory settings, briefly reverting to his original rigid programming. In this state, Buzz displayed an authoritarian attitude, enforcing order among the toys with a strict, almost militaristic approach. Although he eventually regains his personality that we saw develop as Andy's toy, this incident highlights the ease with which Buzz can be manipulated by outside forces, making him a tool of control rather than a defender of freedom. In Toy Story 4, Buzz's struggle to understand his inner voice highlights his continued reliance on external programs to guide his actions. His misinterpretation of his voice box as a source of wisdom revealed how close he always came to being led by his own design. This inner conflict, coupled with the increasing dominance of technology in Bonnie's life, fit together perfectly as a chain effect, setting us up for the ultimate test of Buzz's character. If we go the route that this 5th installment will follow the discarded plot of Toy Story 3, which, in case you don't remember, in the original plot of Toy Story 3, Buzz Lightyear is said to start malfunctioning, and the toys decide to send him to the Waka Waka factory in Taiwan, where Buzz was created. Buzz was sent there against his will after accidentally hurting Andy. However, Woody and the others discover that all Buzz Lightyears are being recalled for having this same problem. Fearing that their Buzz will be replaced or destroyed, they embark on a journey to save him. Meanwhile, the Space Ranger would encounter other recalled toys, as well as a new version of himself called the Dax Blaster. Understanding this, if we apply it to what we already know about this fifth installment, and mix it with what is speculated about Buzz, the story would go as follows. Bonnie, increasingly obsessed with her electronic devices, neglects her toys, leaving them vulnerable to a new technological threat. The main antagonists are 50 commemorative Buzz Lightyears, each equipped with a distinctive red light on their chest, which connects them to a remote control via remote access. These Buzz Lightyears trapped in toy mode are unable to recognize their true nature, making them ideal pawns in a greater plan. The surprising twist? Buzz himself falls under the control of this army, forced to become their leader by manipulating his programming. Who will be behind this whole operation? A character we're no strangers to, being none other than the evil Emperor himself. Zurg, the villain Buzz was always destined to fight. But in this twisted scenario, Zurg uses Buzz's own strengths and weaknesses against him, turning him into the very villain he was slated to defeat. The seeds of Buzz's potential villainy were planted as early as the first film, where his belief in his superiority and his mission set him apart from the other toys. Each subsequent film added layers to this possibility. His encounters with other Buzz Lightyears, his temporary regression to factory settings, and his continued struggle to define his identity outside of his programming. Now, with Zurg having control, Buzz's fate as leader of the army of rebel Buzz Lightyears would be the culmination of his internal conflict, a tragic fall from grace that was foreshadowed from the beginning. This fifth movie could explore the tension between Buzz's original mission and his loyalty to his friends, challenging him to break free from Zurg's control and ultimately decide his own fate. But until that moment of reckoning, the audience would see how Buzz's journey, full of moments of potential darkness, always led him towards this pivotal role, where he must choose between becoming the hero he was meant to be, and that we have so far seen through all the films, being the one who supports Woody in his decision to take a new path, and this one being the replacement for him as the leader. A detail that we also saw that was foreshadowed since the first movie, when this one was presented as a threat to Woody, since he was seen as Andy's new toy, and the one he would have as a preference, changing the entire theme of his room and giving him priority when playing, or enforcing the villain in which he was always capable of becoming. Who knows? Maybe thanks to this, we could see Woody being forced to take over as leader once again, and thus manage to rescue his friend. But we won't know that until the fifth installment of Toy Story is released. But tell me, what do you think about all this? Do you think Buzz will become a villain? Do you think this is the return of Zurg? Or do you think the movie will take a completely different route? And for more videos of your favorite series and movies, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. You're on. The Oasis Geek.